Guys, I have loved statues all of my life. If you come to my bachelor pad, you're going to see statues. I love my cat statues, little tiny, all stone carvings, different kinds of stone from around the world. I love my Buddhas. These are beautiful, absolutely beautiful little statues. I got my wood carving statues. I got a little thing some guy in Times Square made of my face. Look how handsome I look. But I love statues. Look at these. Got these in Chicago. If you go to Tao restaurant, these are what you put your chopsticks on. And then I stole these, and it says at the bottom when I got home, it says, stolen from Tao. So they know you're gonna steal them. I'll probably add it to the bill. But I love my statues. And this one here, one of my favorites. A little statue of a little boy holding a bunny rabbit. I got this in Chicago. I couldn't resist. I love statues almost as much as I love my watches. Guys, I am going to show you some of the tallest statues in the world in order of height. You guys aren't going to believe some of these. Stick around till the end. It's amazing. All right, we're going to start off in the UK. This is 98 feet tall. Look at those horses. Look how huge they are compared to the traffic driving by. We're going to do a lot of Asian countries. There's Hong Kong, India. Here's a huge one in Poland. It's 118 feet tall. And we're back to India, 121 feet tall. Thailand, 128 feet tall. This one's in Rio de Janeiro. You guys know this one, the Jesus piece. It's 130 feet tall. And so forth. And here's India, China. Look at the size of these statues, folks. Sri Lanka. Gonna see a lot of China on here. 190 feet. Look at the size of that statue. Thailand, India. We're back in China, 236 feet tall. Japan, 240 feet tall. China has two of them at 249 feet tall. These are monster statues, guys. Back in China, Miramar. Look at the size of that one. Here we are in China again. Now we're over in Russia. That's the tallest statue of a woman in the world. There's China, 288 feet. The Philippines made the list. Thailand, look at the size of that statue. Good old USA. There's ours. Statue of Liberty, 305 feet tall. Remember that number. Then you got China. Japan, 330 feet tall. India. India likes its tall statues. Japan. Miramar. China, 420 feet tall, and here's the biggest statue in the world, guys. 597 feet tall. That's crazy, and that's in India. And then these other two are not built yet, but that one's going to be 800 feet tall, folks. Unbelievable. The Statue of Unity in India is so large it can be seen from space. Guys, here's a 5-minute documentary on how they built this thing. It's fascinating. I'll be right back.
How did they do it? Can it really withstand earthquakes? And how will its appearance change over the coming decades? Join us today as we look up and ask how the world's tallest statue was built. There are few more appropriate subjects for the world's tallest statue than Iron Man. No, not that Iron Man. Indian statesman and independence activist Vallabhai Patel is nicknamed the Iron Man of India for his incredible nation-building work, uniting all 562 independent princely states on the subcontinent after the British abruptly peaced out in the 1940s. The statue was commissioned to celebrate Patel's monumental achievement, and to underline the fact it's for all Indians, farmers from all across the nation Patel helped create sent in their old unused scrap iron. Some 100 million farmers are said to have participated, yielding 129 tons of scrap iron, which today, melted down, forms the foundation of the statue. The statue itself stands at 182 meters tall, and that's no accident. 182 was chosen because that's the number of seats on the Gujarati legislature. It's constructed on a river island near where Patel grew up, facing the mighty Narmada Dam. That dam, like so much else in modern India, was also partly his idea. Celebrated Indian sculptor Ram V. Sutar, distinguished winner of the Padma Bhushan Award for service to his country, was chosen to lead the design team. He'd already made a statue of Patel, the one currently residing at Ahmedabad International Airport. Sutar reportedly combed through thousands of photographs and consulted many historians in order to achieve the perfect likeness for his masterpiece. Then he made models, first 3 feet high, then 18 feet, then 30 feet. The finished clay model underwent meticulous 3D scanning, with the model used as a reference for Chinese casting company Jiangqi Tongqing Metal Handicrafts, where the bronze outer layer was manufactured. Funding for the project came from a variety of sources, mostly the Gujarat government, but also private donations and even a fun-run marathon. In total, it's estimated the cost amounted to almost $400 million. New York firm Michael Graves Architecture and Design was hired to oversee the project, along with the Singapore-based Hardy Group and Indian infrastructure giant Larsen & Toubro. Some 4,076 labourers worked alongside 250 engineers for 57 months on the project. Work began in earnest when Narendra Modi, then Premier of Gujarat, now Prime Minister, laid the foundation on the 31st of October 2013, what would have been Patel's 138th birthday. The hillock on which the statue stands was flattened, from 70 metres to just 55 metres, in order that the foundations could be laid. Of the many thorny engineering problems that had to be overcome, the most striking related to the statue's so-called slenderness ratio. What that basically means is that tall structures should ideally be more slender at the top than at the bottom. Seems obvious, right? Ram V. Sutar's sculpture of Vallabhai Patel, however, is clearly narrower at the base. Moreover, the statue's thrusting progressive stance meant those dainty sandaled feet are some 6.5 meters apart. Engineers decided the best way to solve this problem was to create 2 separate concrete cores, the same kind of core you'll have seen 100 times on skyscraper construction sites. Between them, these cores incorporate around 210,000 cubic meters of cement and concrete, 6,500 tons of structural steel, and 18,500 tons of reinforced steel. Working in Gujarat's hot climate created challenges for the concrete pool team, who needed to use an assortment of chiller systems to keep the all-important coarse aggregate element of the concrete cool enough to set evenly. Light shafts are concealed within each core for ferrying tourists up to the observation gallery, where up to 200 delighted sightseers can gaze out over the Narmada Dam and hundreds of acres of manicured grounds through strategically concealed rips in Patel's dhoti. Further up the cores are twin 250-ton tuned mass dampers. Why? The area is occasionally prone to earthquakes. Thanks to those dampers, the structure can withstand quakes of up to 6.5 on the Richter scale to a depth of 10 kilometers and a radius of 12 kilometers away. Cantilevered out from those mighty concrete cores is a steel space frame designed on CAD software. Onto this frame, the bronze-clad panels transported by sea from China were bolted on. If you're thinking the panels don't entirely seem to line up, that's actually deliberate. Why? The panels are designed to overlap slightly so they can move about in high winds, up to 180 kilometers an hour, and prevent the transmission of stress throughout the structure. The skin alone, by the way, weighs over 2,000 tons, and each panel is unique, requiring a clever tagging and numbering system to avoid confusion and delay on site. The building phase took 33 months, by which point the statue was visible from 7 kilometers away. It wasn't just the statue that was built, by the way. The Mammoth project, which is 200 kilometers away from the nearest major city in a densely forested rural area, necessitated the building of a 4-lane approach road, a food court, and a 52-room 3-star hotel. There's also a museum featuring 2,000 photographs and 40,000 documents within 11 days of the unveiling. On what would have been Patel's 143rd birthday, some 128,000 tourists had visited the site, more than the Statue of Liberty managed in the same time frame. The total number of visitors currently stands at around 6 million. The statue is not without its critics. Many argue it's an overpriced boondoggle, and the money would have been better spent addressing local poverty. Over its projected 100-year lifespan, Patel's mammoth likeness will gradually turn green owing to the composition of its metal. And locals have wasted no time centering festivals around the giant statue, like impressive light shows involving powerful lasers.
Here's another really cool look at the size of different statues from around the world. Now let's jump on an airplane and fly from country to country to see the biggest statues in the world.
You don't really want no smoke. You don't really want no smoke. No, you don't really want no smoke. You don't really...
This is one of my favorite statues. It's in St. Patrick's Cathedral. This is one of the most famous statues in this whole church. It's Christ as he's dead. You could tell he's been crucified because he has holes in his feet. He has holes in his hands. Those are the nail holes. He has been stabbed with a spear, and his mother holds him in her arms. This has been rubbed on for 150 years. It's so smooth right here. It's like glass. People have come up. Now it's all rough right here because you don't genuinely touch that. But these feet, guys, are just like pearls. It's beautiful. Beautiful. It's a beautiful statue. These are the statues of Easter Island. These are like my favorite on the planet just because they're mysterious. It's hard to believe that anybody could carve something so beautiful and amazing. Whether it's a tiny statue of a kitty cat or if it's the greatest statue of all time, the Statue of Liberty, I hope that you can appreciate the pride and the beauty that came from the artist. Guys, please be kind and loving to each other. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, like, share, comment, all that. God bless.